into race 2 then. If Brandon Orby can go 1 for 1 with 2 victories here around number 6, he's going to be a happy man.
Championship might just be in the bag by that stage, but it's going to be up to the Liqui Corvettes to outdo that. Look in the background, the second one is there. The Red Rocket is going to be coming from behind, and the Free State Fury are here in full effect.
Out the front, it is all about Terry Wilford and Donnie Correa Jr. Those are going to be 2 very tricky characters to pass in the early stages.
First 2 corners, double yellow, so no passing there. Only when you come out of turn 2, down towards turn 3, that's when the racing gets underway. This is the rear view from Terry's Mustang as they come into turn number 2. This is where the racing gets underway now. And flat out stuff. Look at Correa already starting to slip those big Goodyear tires as he keeps the Italian stallion behind him.
Remember, this is about tires. Have they conserved enough in race number 1? Because race number 2 is 5 laps longer and it's going to be a tricky one to last through.
That's the man we need to watch out for. Already giving the Cherry Active machine of Harry Mayer a good run for his money as Jaco Correa starts to come through this field from the back of the Super GT category. Now I get onto the brakes. Donnie Correa Jr., his brother, is right onto the tailpiece. Wolford going very defensive very early on.
He's got to make it count. Now, Terry's been in this situation quite a few times so far in the 2010 season. Thus far, hasn't made it work for himself. But on a tight track like this has got to be his best opportunity to hang on to the race lead.
On the inside, the Vata Batteries Jag has a big look. Here comes Ben Morganhood, his arch rival. So that little battle is going to resume, and I'm sure it's going to resume pretty soon.
Watch out, though. The Liqui Mollies are what we are watching out for coming through. Brandon Orby, I'm not expecting to see him go as aggressive as he normally does. There's no need for him to get to the front. He's scoring enough points. As long as he can just get ahead of Jaco Correa, that's job done.
The commentator's curse there. He just bangs one up the inside of his dad. So he's got ahead of dad, and now, whoa, Broder's at the back.
Talking about banging one up the inside.
I think Harry Mayer might have just done exactly that on the inside of Vicky Kemp coming into turn 2. That's a big problem. Back on board with Wolford, looking through turn 4. This is age-up corner. And man alive, these boys are pushing it hard. This is a 15-lapper, so 3 laps more than the first heat. How are these Goodyear tires going to cope?
Well, that's the situation. Jaco Correa, by my count, he only did 2 laps in the first heat, so his brakes are perfect. Look at that. He's closing in on the top 6 already, so he's going to be able to get on the power earlier, brake later. He's definitely going to be closing down these boys.
This is the replay of Harry Mayer going in the inside. He tried to go on the inside there. I'm not quite sure what he was trying. Vicky Kemp closed the door as she would normally, and the 2 of them just tagging.
Yeah, Vicky, unfortunately, in the wrong place at the right time. Harry just running out a bit of talent and smashing them both out of race number 2.
Speaking of tagging, did you see the front right-hand side of Rolf Duplessis' car? He's back up and running, but a lot of damage on the front end of that vehicle. So it is a battle royal there between the 2 championship contenders who were 3rd and 4th in this championship coming to this round.
Yeah, Larry Wolford, he's got a Fenton trailer in the name of Rolf Duplessis, as we see all kinds of moves at the front here. Now this is lap 3 or 4, and Terry is still hanging on to this lead, but he is slowing the boys down. Donnie Correa Jr. in the number 12 Liqui Moly Corvette wants through, and he's got it.
And I think the Italian stallion might go with him. Yes, indeed. Wolford gets forced wide, and the Vata Batteries Jaguar sneaks ahead of the Fuchs Titan Mustang as they come flying through turn number 6.
This is Brandon Orby. He's moved through into 4th place ahead of his dad, Dion, and he is looking at the back end of Terry Wolford. So Terry is in the fight with the big dogs now.
Dude, Ben Morgan, who's also come through there. So, and look at that. That looks like Jaco Correa. Yes, indeed. The second of the Liqui Moly Corvettes is just behind, sitting in 6th place. What a drive from those 2. He's going to go to 5th. He might sneak on the inside of Ben coming into turn number 1. Has he got through? Oh, not just yet, but now he goes onto the inside. Ben sees him coming, but tell you what, Terry Wolford didn't see Brandon coming.
Pretty much a lap and a half has seen the demise of Terry Wolford, so it's a big shame. And unfortunately, I really think he overcooked his tyres in heat number 1. But you've got to know the pace was there. He just needs to work on the craft and try and maintain those tyres a little bit longer.
Well, Wolford's trying to go defensive as much as possible, or we trying to retake that position on the Liqui Moly Corvette of Jaco Correa. Now, that's how close it gets. Terry Wolford nearly had a little sniff up the exhaust pipe and onto the inside. 2 overtaking maneuvers in 1 here. Wolford's been outdone, and so has Morgan Root.
Jaco Correa is on the move. A little bit of front damage on the left wing, but he doesn't care about that. Big drift from Brandon Orby. Massive drift from Jaco Correa. The boys are pushing. We're finally going to see the championship fight come to fruition. They're only separated by Wolford now.
Now, Wolford is the little cat amongst the pigeons there. Terry advise you, get out the way, bud. You don't want to be involved in that.
Yeah, just pull your elbows in as we watch a killer move from Larry Wolford. You won't see anyone outbrake harder than him into turn 8.
Awesome bit of driving there. Larry Wolford closing on to 1 and 2 in this GT race, and that at the moment is Des Goodside and Darren Goodman's. They're running just behind Clairval. Once again, Clairval in amongst the GT competitors. And it's going to be a little bit of a worry, I think, because you now got 5 GT cars coming up onto the back end of the slower Super GT.
I think it's going to cause a bit of a concertina effect. She will be faster down the straights, but the GT guys are very brave and later on the brakes with their lighter cars. We'll go back to the front, and the Stallion is smelling a victory here.
Stallion definitely has an opportunity to take a victory. Here comes Morgan Root. Oh, Terry Wolford getting it wrong into turn 5, Sassel corner. He runs a little bit wide. That might open the door for Dion. Dion's gone through as well. Terry making some rookie mistakes.
So he's out the back now. There's pretty much clear air between himself and I think it's Claire Vale all the way back around about 4 or 5 seconds. So Terry, he's going to try and stay in touch, but if those tires are cooked, then he is just going to drop off the pace. You can see him in the back of the pack, 6th place.
6th place at the moment. First 6 cars go flying through, and at this stage, there's only about 3.5 seconds between 1st place and 6th place. So nothing in it. This is now the front end, and Frankie Lematone trying to get good drive here on Donnie Correa Jr. Side by side on a turn 3. We see the Corvette go off here already, but it's not going to be the same for the Liqui Moly Corvette. Donnie is on rails, man.
Yeah, you got to keep it tight, and I think Donnie had a good drive coming out of turn number 2, hooked up the tires, and really got a good squirt on down the back straight, and that's what this track is all about. It's a real simple track, but it's so hard to get that drive out of turn 2 because it sets you up all the way until the brakes on this section.
Massive Sassel Flames into Sassel corner, and a big move there from Jaco Correa up to 3rd. Brandon Orby now realizes the Red Rockets are now going to be what he needs to catch for the rest of this race.
Brandon is overdriving that car. You can see black lines and flames and rubber and everything flying out the back of that ELT Jaguar, but he cannot maintain. He has cooked his tires. Jaco has got fresher rubber. That means he's going to be progressing forward.
Dude, it actually looks like Jaco might be having a little problem as we go back to the battle with the GT boys. And you can see it is Des Goodside, Darren Goodmans, and Larry Wolford. Wolford, once again, late braking into turn 8. Goldwagen corner. Not able to make it stick this time. I think Darren Goodman saw him coming and was a little bit later than what we saw from Romano Satori.
Larry definitely had to come out of that one, otherwise we'd have 2 more cars on the side. And it's been a bit of a war out there for the V8 guys. A lot of damage and plenty of dirty hands in the pits between races.
Yeah, as always in V8 Supercars. Late braking from Larry Wolford once again out of turn 2. Gets it sideways, and those Goodyear tires are being worked to the limit by Larry Wolford. Trying to get ahead of the Indigo Boats machine of Darren Goodmans. It's Corvette versus Mustang, Chevy versus Ford.
Des Goodside a little bit further up the road, closing in, right on the back wheel of Claire Vale now. So that's a Super GT car that on this track is just not coping with the tight corners.
Wolford's through, but Wolford snuck through turn 4. We were following that battle that you're talking about, and just in the background, Wolford snuck through and manages to get up and ahead of what is going to be his arch rival, because remember, Goodman's led coming into this round.
Here's Jaco Correa. This is 3rd and 2nd place. The Stallion is still hanging on, and it looks like Donnie Correa Jr. is extending a little bit off the front of this. He's got about 2 car lengths in between himself and the Stallion, but Jaco is the man on the move here. He has got a lot of pace. He shoves it up the inside there, hotter on the brakes. He's just going to move the Stallion wide, and that is Two Brothers Racing 1 and 2.
Yeah, Free State Fury at the front, and Liqui Moly Corvettes are now 1 and 2, or are they? Because Franco's not giving this up. Oh, but he has to. Oh, I don't know how he managed to hang on for that long. Here comes Brandon Orby on the inside too. Brandon Orby just saw the opportunity. He got sideways out of turn 4 and up to 3.
Just a little kiss on the front fender of Frankie Di Matteo. He won't be too fussed about that. He's still in the hunt, but I'm just amazed that Brandon Orby can hold the pace of Jaco Correa, even though his tires are completely cooked. That's why he's going to be crowned champion at the end of this year.
Now, I was mentioning it a bit earlier as we see Dion Orby going through the SKF ELT Jag. Power steering seems to be a little bit of a problem on that red Corvette. Oh, and looks like he's also battling with gears, Matt. So we're going to have to watch Jaco Correa very, very closely here as we're going back to the GT battle. And Larry's caught up onto the back end of Des, but hasn't found a way past just yet.
Just to talk about Jaco Correa and continue your thought there. Power steering and gears has been his problem the whole weekend long, so I wouldn't be surprised to see it coming through. And in a 15-lap race like this, it's just going to chow everything on this car.
Right, so we've got 7.5 laps to go as they cross the line now. And can you believe this? Well, it's going to be 7 laps. I was going to say 7.5 a little bit earlier on. These guys are not holding anything back, and you can see Claire Vale also not holding anything back at all. She says, right, you guys are GT category cars for sure, but you've got to get past me if you want to continue this game.
You know what, Des has been happy to sit on her rear bumper, but now he'll be aware of a black shadow in his rearview mirror. The 24 Mustang of Larry Wolford is coming and coming in hot, and this is the problem here. Look at this. They close up under brakes, and then under power, the bigger powered Mustang actually just out-drags him up the hill. And that's where the separation between Super GT and GT exists.
And check out how defensive Des went there, but he wasn't defensive enough. Larry Wolford snuck through. What a move. How did you find that line? That is awesome driving from Wolford. He gets ahead of Des Goodside, and I think maybe Des let him through there because Des has been battling and he gets it sideways out of turn 6. Des has been battling to get past Claire. He knows Larry can get past her, so he's now going to let that battle go to Larry and maybe follow him through.
It could be that, or it could be the fact that he was just bumper watching, wasn't aware of the driver behind, and was just checking out Claire's line. All of a sudden, Black Machine up the inside, second place in the GTs. But yeah, let's see what Larry can do.
So Larry's going to try and finish up first. He's already taken one victory today. If he can take a second one, he's going to move himself back into contention with the championship, although the 3 championship rivals are right with each other.
Donnie Correa Jr., Liqui Moly Corvette. Yucko Correa Jr., Liqui Moly Corvette. Out of the Free State, running 12 and 10 on their cars, and they are off the front of this race.
Oh, we saw that a little bit earlier, a bit of deja vu, but it was 2 white cars earlier on. Formation flying in the first heat, and here again in the second.
Yucko Correa, he sits in second place on championship points. Quite a chunk off the race leader and a championship leader, Brandon Orby. He would need this win, and he would need to keep his brother behind him as well to try and take as many points away from Brandon.
Come down now, you can just see the front car revving a little bit higher than the second car. I think that might be the gearbox problem that he's been experiencing all weekend. Maybe he's just missing 1 gear. And remember, these folks are only using 3 gears in these cars at ZWARTKOPS. They only get to 3rd.
You were telling me one day how fast these cars can go in first gear. Over 100 Ks, wasn't it?
120 Ks an hour in first gear. So that's the kind of pace you get out of these cars down this back straightaway. It'll be close to 200 Ks an hour, unlike the Bridgestone production cars, which we saw earlier on in the show. So 200 Ks an hour when they bank it right and turn into turn 4.
Check out the concertina effect. We spoke about it earlier. It is coming into play. Claire Vale leads out in one of the slower Super GT class, and then you've got the top 3 guys in the championship and on the track now, closing each other down. It's going to get messy.
Yeah, just in the background is Rolf. So all 4 of them are there, and Claire's just, and I don't want to say this, she's getting in the way. This is a championship for national title going up for grabs here, and Larry is trying to get through.
And while that's going on, that was Ben Morganrud having problems in the Jaguar of his own. So that's him out of this race after running so good all weekend.
2 overtaking maneuvers there possibly happening. Did Larry Wolford get through on Claire? No, he didn't. But Goodman's got through on Des Goodside. See how frustrated Larry's getting. He's trying everything he can. Even he's late breaking into Goldwagen corner. Doesn't allow him to get ahead of the Gatorback Ram Ford Mustang of Claire Vale.
And like I said before, they don't come any later on the brakes than Larry Wolford, so he is pushing that car. And what's going to happen is he's going to be frying the front tires. Normally these things cook the back tires, but the front tires don't have to work super hard. On Larry's car, he's got that thing on the nose in every corner.
Sartori's managed to sneak 1 position up and got ahead of Rolf Duplessis. And in fact, I think it's the 2 of them that came together. Look there, back left, Sartori damage, front right, Duplessis damage.
Yeah, a lot of love kissing going on there through the corners. But Larry is on a flyer, and the front tire or the front disc is definitely smoking, so he's pushing it real hard. Oh, like, what is going on in the back there? Someone is grabbing a little bit of inside dirt. Outside dirt.
Heavy equipment on the outside from Des Goodside? No, but you don't have to use the yellow machinery today. Today you have to use your Ford Mustang. Come on, Des.
So Vicky Kemp comes through, and Des looked like he was nursing his tires, and they just let go. That's a shame.
Formation flying continues between the 2 Liqui Moly Corvettes, and it's still Donnie hanging on to Yucko, but Yucko, more importantly, is keeping Brandon behind him. Brandon doesn't have to worry too much.
No.
He has got a comfortable margin in this championship. If he stays behind Yucko, it's pretty much a done deal.
You know what? I think Yucko is just holding back, trying to give his brother a bit of a chance, but now that Brandon has closed things down, Yucko is going to have to bust a move.
25 on the back end of the 19. Still no opportunity to get through. He's trying everything he knows. He's gone inside. He's gone around the outside. He's slipping and sliding, pushing those Goodyear tires. They're starting to cook big time here. We're coming to the closing stages. It's been a 15-lap race, and these Goodyear tires and the Sassel fuel have worked double time on these cars, especially on that Black Beauty.
I know sometimes we'll kind of guess what a driver is thinking, but I can pretty much categorically state that Larry Wolford is frustrated.
Onto the braking markers. Can he make a move stick here now? Very late on the brakes. Once again. Oh, he's got out of shape. Whoa, he nearly went into the back end of Claire. That is pure frustration coming out there, trying an inside maneuver. Claire came across normal line she would have, but unfortunately he's lost the lead. And Darren Goodmans has taken the lead. That means it's going to be 1-for-1 for Darren Goodmans and for him. And that is just opening up that title battle massively for the next round in Cape Town.
Back at the main race, coming through some of the slower traffic. This is Des Goodside back on track. Donnie Correa Jr., he's got himself through. Yucko Correa Jr., whoa, up the inside through turn number 3. That is a very, very dangerous move but he happened to make it stick. He's got to know he's got a car that's going to hold together. But Brandon Orby, he looks defeated. He's just going to rock this one home in third and take the points.
Clearly, Jaco didn't see the first race, did he? Where a certain Corvette ended up in the side of the wall at that particular point. Jaco, please have a check on the first heat of this particular coverage.
Check out the Stallion. He's doing real well. He's had a good day in the Vita Batteries Jaguar, and he's holding off Dion Orby. That just shows that certain cars have been able to preserve their tires, and that's why they can come through. Donnie Correa Jr., what a great weekend for the man from the Free State.
Yeah, that's the way to finish a weekend. At the top of the podium, and Liqui Moly are going to be happy with the formation flying 1 and 2 in the Super GTs.
So Donnie takes the victory. His brother Jaco comes through in the second place. That'll help him out. Brendan Orby, third place, good points for him. The Stallion in fourth place. Dion Orby making it the top 5.
A tight battle in the GTs continues as Darren Goodmans takes the victory from Larry Wolford, Sartori in third, Duplessis eventually in fourth, and Steve Herbst there in fifth.
We get to see this every now and again. It's always cool. Two brothers racing at the top of the pile.
Donnie, it's normally about this time of year you come out with a victory. Good job, man.
Yeah, thanks a lot. This was unexpected. I came here this weekend with almost no practicing on Friday, and we just had trouble the whole weekend, and Jaco had bad luck in his car, and yeah, the second race just worked for us. It was great.
It was perfect to see. I love it when your two brothers start duking out together. But your hardest competition was your brother about halfway through that race.
Yeah, no, when I saw first I struggled to get past Terry, but he had a good race, and then I don't know where he came from. Suddenly he was just next to me, and I thought, oh no. So, but yeah, well done to Jaco as well. He had a great race, and I just want to thank our sponsors, Liqui Moly, my dad, for putting in a lot of work into the cars and getting it to where it is today. So, thanks.
Jaco, you needed that result. It has been one tough weekend for you, man.
Yes, no, we've been battling. I almost thrown the towel there and said to my dad, don't bother even trying further. We'll just watch the race because Donnie is having a good weekend. And they worked. They really worked. I tried everything. The car's still not right. Battled with power steering. I raced. I think I did 3 laps with all my gears, and I had a second gear missing. So it was a hard race, but in the end, a good result.
Brand